Hi everyone, welcome. Today I am Marlou van der Cruijsen and I am program leader at Baltan Laboratories. And today I want to tell you something about Baltan, the organization, and about the things that we do. So Baltan is a cultural lab and we are based in Eindhoven. We are based here on Strijp S in the NatLab building. And we work on the intersection of art, design, science and research and technology. And with artistic and design research at the core of our activities, we look at societal challenges and questions. We believe that bridging the gaps between different fields of knowledge could lead us to new perspectives specifically on societal questions such as social inequalities, climate change, emerging technologies, etc. And what we do, we work in different formats. So either self-initiated projects by Baltan or projects initiated by artists or designers. And depending on the project, we select together a suitable format for that. So we work in workshops, we do publications, festivals, symposia, lectures. We also do longer multidisciplinary research trajectories together with artists and designers. We are currently developing an online course. We do expos, co-productions and residencies. Residencies both at Baltan, mostly around projects that are initiated by artists or designers themselves, but we also do residencies together with partner organizations that are targeted towards a specific challenge or a specific topic. Today I want to tell you something about our program. I want to talk about our Homo Socialist theme and then specifically the local projects that we initiate within that theme. Then I want to tell you a bit about our European collaborations, one of the projects being Region Arts. And lastly, I want to dive into our Homo Economics theme and specifically our Economia program for that. So first, Homo Socialist. The theme is based upon the tension between the individual and the collective. We look within this theme at ways to put the collective first again, or maybe give it a bigger space within our lives or the way we design society. And today specifically I want to talk about the local projects that we do within Homo Socialist. We also have intercultural projects, but I wanted to focus a bit on what we do in the Eindhoven region now. So first, the collaboration with St. Trudeau. This is one of the housing corporations in Eindhoven. And together with them we started in 2019 with a yearly residency. So together with Trudeau, we select an area in which Trudeau is active and we select a challenge or a topic that for them as well is relevant within that area. The first residency that we selected through an open call, was targeted towards Strijp S, the Strijp S area, and it was specifically around the question how this area could remain a vibrant and diverse and creative area. And the project that we selected was talking a lot about inclusivity and diversity. And the second residency, of which you can see a picture here, was targeted towards the Eikenburg area. The Eikenburg estate was a former monastery, and Trudeau took over the management of the estate from the monastery. And one of the challenges that they saw was how these values and beliefs from the monastery that they used to build the area and the community using and living there around, it was a challenge to kind of keep those values and beliefs alive with a change of the management. So now a housing corporation is managing the estate. So we selected a project from Tom Veger for this residency. He started in 2020, but due to Corona, it was delayed, so he's currently still working there. And he is looking at ways in which rituals and a communal space could help in keeping these values alive. We will present a publication later on this year, and we are really hoping to do some small physical events together with the people using the area in summer. Another project is Occupy Baltan. Within Occupy Baltan, we open up to be ourselves to be occupied, actually. So we let new and emerging artists and designers occupy our space and our facilities. They are using the spaces we have in the Nut Lab. We are talking with them about how they could further develop their projects. And what we are doing this year is we're planning to launch an open call by summer for a new series of occupants that are more targeted towards community projects. Then the Region Arts Project, because next to, as I said, on a local level, we also operate on an international level. And we do this mostly, or not mostly, we do this also within European collaboration projects. And one of those projects is the Region Arts Project. Region Arts is looking at how to foster arts and ICT collaborations, and more specifically, looking at how policy can play a role in this. So what could policymakers actually do or change in order to foster arts and ICT collaborations within their own region? And what we're looking at, we are targeting the Eindhoven region, and in Eindhoven we are specifically looking at artistic and concept-driven projects, arts and ICT projects, that are talking about societal topics. And what we've seen over the past years within this project is that there are a lot of projects and organizations working on this topic in the Eindhoven area, but also a lot of these projects are not moving beyond their concept phase, so to say. So they develop a project, they present it within a cultural context, and then that's that. And we think and we believe that there's a lot of value within these projects that could potentially also be implemented within society or within other organizations. And what we're looking at now is we're developing a validation tool that could guide the dialogue between policymakers or organizations and these projects or makers to see what are the steps that still need to be taken in order to get these projects into implementation. And then the thing I wanted to dive a bit deeper in today is the Homo Economicus theme. The theme is built upon this concept of Homo Economicus, a concept in which man is first and foremost an economic being, an economic being directed towards the satisfaction of his needs in an efficient, rational, and a logical manner. And we thought, well, if this is so, then couldn't we use these abilities actually to change the system that we're currently living in? So could we use these abilities to create a more fair, a more equal, a more just, and a more sustainable system? And one of the big projects within Homo Economicus is the Economia program. We started that in 2017 with a festival, the 3-day festival, that was called Economia, a festival on economy without economists. And we had the second edition of the festival last year in 2020. Of course, due to Corona, we had to make that into an online festival. So what we did is we developed a longer program. We started in June and we ended in November with online lectures, conferences, video exhibitions, and an online publication. And why the limited edition? Because we wanted to explore an economy that respects the limits of our planet, of our social system, our social limits, and also the limits of other species. We saw already from 2017 and before, of course, that the uncertainty of the effectiveness and the validity of our capitalist economy is increasing. Economic crisis, the effects of the COVID pandemic recently, of course, growing social inequalities, the increasing extinction rate of other species, and so on, climate change, the list is long. They all show us that our economic system needs to change. Our economy in its present form does not provide any answers for these challenges. Also with this edition, of course, it was highly influenced by the COVID pandemic. It literally made us stop for a moment, the COVID pandemic, in the lockdown or the lockdowns that we were in. And it made us reflect about where we stand as humans within the systems that we created, systems that we see crumbling under the blows of a virus still today. And it reminds us that we are in fact part of nature. Even if we try to dominate it or we try to escape from it, we are still very much subject to nature's laws. And also, it showed us that we cannot go back to normal, but we also know that unless we do something, our broken normal will come back soon, if it hasn't already. So we specifically explored how transforming our economy could also rebalance our relationship with nature, and we wanted also to look at the consequences of this renewed relationship. These consequences are not only environmental, but also societal and political. And we divided the program into three themes, or three threads, so to say: nature's economies, shifting values, and redesigning infrastructures. With the nature's economies theme, we asked the question if our economy could become more like nature. Could it become a closed system that grows, flourishes, and decays, where flows of matter, life, and energy are feeding each other and balancing out at the same time? The shifting value theme was specifically targeted at the notion of value. So could another perception of value also trigger a bigger change on a societal level? So acknowledging other values than strictly the economic one, what would the consequences be for the system that we have at the moment? And the last one, redesigning infrastructures. Within this theme, we looked at the mechanisms of our society and our economy, because sometimes changing a complex system is not about starting from scratch, but it's about rethinking its mechanisms. Infrastructures such as work, care, taxation, currencies, etc. They are the building blocks of our economy, and we wanted to see if redesigning them could trigger a bigger change on the societal level. And next, I want to show you a little video, a compilation video of our Economia lectures.
Before the coin lands, you know what to do. It is not so much that the coin will give you the answer, it will make you answer by pretending to answer for you. As if the solution to uncertainty is not certainty, but bluff.
And she said to me, "Are you ready?" I said, "Yeah, I think so. Don't know for what I had to be ready, but I know if someone in Africa asks you that, you say, yes, I'm ready." And she walked with me into the bush. And we walked, and then we entered a cave. And we went deep into the cave. It was pitch dark in the cave. I don't know how long I've been there. An hour, 2 hours, 10 minutes, half a day, no idea. Mama Gerda came and got me. And she saw me and she said, "Now you're ready."
The word growth is rooted in the Proto-Germanic word grü, which means something like the land becoming green again in the beginning of spring. By giving a word to this specific moment in time and then extracting it from that particular context and time frame, as alphabet-based languages tend to do, its meaning and our intimate understanding of it mutated and was corrupted. Grü originally takes place in relation to what went before and what will come after.
What it's telling us, the way we're behaving with money, is telling us that we believe that in the future there's going to be a highly successful, vibrant economy, highly productive, highly wealthy, which is able to pay down that debt. And my central point is that it's not going to happen.
Trust has a soulmate. She's called money and will be our guide.
So here's an example that we worked with L'Oreal at one of their headquarters here in the Netherlands. It has around 250 staff in it. In the end of the first month, we had 75% of the staff actually sign up and use it. They carried out 4,000 actions in 1 month, and that equates or created a CO2 reduction of 8,000 kilograms, which is more than 60 flights from Amsterdam to Paris.
Trust me, I got this.
Now well beyond the control of a single man, yet for a moment supported by the breeze, it hovers around his head like a paper cloud. For a moment, he is a sorcerer, a wizard, the abstract promise of something truly magical. The ever-expanding newspaper somehow representing the ever-expanding reach of humanity. But in fact, this promise of abundance is central to all our most important religious texts. From the land of milk and honey in the Torah, to Al-Qatar in the Quran, or Jesus turning water into wine in the Bible. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming.
96% of all the life on the planet has perished. And that came about also due to massive amount of CO2 released either due to a volcanic eruption or an asteroid impact, leading to global warming, changing ocean currents, ocean acidification, and you had the collapse of ecosystems. The sixth extinction that we are into right now, we can see species are already disappearing at more than 1,000 times the background rate. And this is the first extinction event that is not caused by a geological or an astrological impact event, but is caused solely by the activities of one species, and that being us human beings.
Trust me, you got this.
We need that bridge to heal the world. And your work is to build that bridge between science and the indigenous, between economics and the social, between culture and nature. Because all of that is one, and we tend to forget that.
Yes, so that was a compilation about the lectures we did. And next to the lectures, as I said, we had an online conference and also an online publication, but we also did video exhibitions. And I wanted to talk about this a bit because we were actually planning to do a physical exhibition during Dutch Design Week. And unfortunately, a few weeks before Dutch Design Week actually happened, we were forced to do it online. Again, the Dutch Design Week moved completely online. By that time, we had already selected the artworks and the projects that we wanted to present, and we felt that it was very important, especially within these times where it is very difficult for artists and designers to present their work, to still present their work, actually. And what we did is we tried to find a visually attractive, but also content-wise an interesting way to present these projects. So what we did is we built a film set in the Brood basement. They are actually our neighbors in the Natlab building, where we filmed 3 video exhibitions, unpacked the works that were sent to us, and had a voiceover from the artists and the designers explaining about their projects. And we launched these videos in online events, together with a Q&A afterwards with the artists and designers. By the way, all the videos and all the lectures, you can see them on our YouTube channel, but I'll share the link later on. And what we're working on now is the first edition of a Baltan Academy towards a caring approach to economy. And in this first online course, we are looking at all these concepts and notions that we saw in the past 4 years of the Economia program. And we are developing an online course in which we want to form a learning community, looking at what we can do ourselves to move towards a more equal and just and sustainable system. The registrations for that will be open soon, so keep an eye on our channels for that. And that was it for today. I want to thank you for joining and listening. The links are here if you want to look into it a bit more or dive into it a bit deeper. After this, there will be a Q&A, and I will, of course, be happy to answer any of your questions. Thanks.
Hey, you're still here. So you like the video. If you want, subscribe and click the bell.